Shotgun with Charlie.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun, in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. This is part of the DC trip extravaganza for the DC Project, and I have two of the DC Project ladies with me. I have Susan Hansen from
Washington State, upper left.
The upper left.
Upper left.
And I have Lori Blackwell.
Chicagoland.
Chicago, 588-2300 Empire. Yeah, I'm from an hour south of Chicago. We are moving the ladies from one hotel to another hotel, and I have no idea where we're going.
Perfect. This should be fun. You'll be all right.
Excellent.
In 600 feet, turn left on Richmond Highway.
600 feet.
600
I think
feet?
it's there.
Turn left on Richmond Highway.
There it is. We're good.
But it's
We're
not
good.
called that. That's the problem. This is how
Right,
it always starts.
That's a problem.
That seemed like a
As long as we know how to U-turn, we'll
Are
get
you
there.
sure?
That seems awful.
No,
quick.
this doesn't seem right.
It says go back.
Oh, yeah, we're not doing that. All
And
right, we're going on an
begins.
adventure.
Fascinating video.
There we go.
It's only 3 miles.
It's only 3 miles.
Try
All right,
the next light.
we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Turn right, then turn left.
It's
right.
trying to turn you around.
This is what, can I say this? So I know, totally un-gun related. This is why I don't like Waze. It should be Way.
In 400 feet, turn right on North Kings Highway.
Oh, just make a
Turn
U-turn.
right on
It
North
wants you to
Kings
U-turn.
Highway.
This is why they should call it Way, because they have
Way.
one way. That's all. This is what I've discovered
Way.
with Waze. They have
Take it or
Way.
leave it.
They show you one way to do it, and if you don't do what they say, they're like, take a left and take a U-turn and take a U-turn on this road.
Isn't
and that's all
that the
they do.
truth? Truth. Way.
Way. All right, so let's talk about Lori. Lori's from Chicago.
Yes.
How did you get into gun stuff, Lori?
You know, I don't even know. I grew up in a family that hunted.
Yeah.
I would go with my stepdad, but mostly because the dogs were there. I really had no curiosity about guns. I wasn't anti. I had no opinion one way or the other.
Right, we call it a gun agnostic.
Yeah, totally. And I don't know. You grow up. You know. I have my own business. I live alone. I started thinking about self-defense, and a friend of mine told me once, if you weren't willing to use a gun, don't have one. I thought that was good advice. And it just took me a while to, I was like, well, if I had kids, but it's like, I'm worth protecting. And so it took me a while to get there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women are like that. And, I took some classes and I wasn't half bad at it. And I don't know what happened. Now I'm an instructor and I'm part of the Well Armed Woman. I'm one of their regional trainers.
I don't know what happened.
And I don't know.
We travel the United States.
Oh, yeah. So I do competitive three-gun shooting now. I have the expensive problem of everything I try, I like it. And so then I have to buy all the stuff. So
Right.
it's completely out of control. So I don't know. I enjoy it. I've met a lot of great people. And, now I'm all pro 2A. And here I am on the DC Project.
So, all right, what was the turning point to get to where you went from guns, I don't care, I want to hang out with the dogs, to I'm an instructor traveling the
I know,
country
right?
3-gun?
I know.
This seems to be a big jump.
It was a large jump. I tend to be a little impulsive. I don't know. For me, I thought I was going into it for self-defense, and I still am, I suppose.
Sure.
But, we would go. We had our little Bass Pro Range in Gurnee, in Illinois, and we'd go on Friday nights, and it became like a social thing.
Right.
We'd shoot. We'd have coffee cake. We'd go out for a cocktail after. It became something to do in the winter when it's too cold to
When
do
it's cold,
anything else.
sure. When it's 12
And it became
below.
a total social thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all in.
Cool.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's how you got here. How long have you been doing DC Project? I can't say
This
how long.
is my
It's only
4th year.
your 4th year,
Yeah.
and it's only 4 years long.
Yeah,
Old.
yeah.
4 years long. 4 years old. Very cool. Very cool. How did you get connected with Diana Muller to get you in?
It's funny. I met her through 3-gun, and I knew her. I mean, I didn't know her well then, and I think it was sort of like, Blackwell, you're from Illinois. Yeah. Okay, you got to do this thing. And so all of a sudden
You're voluntold.
Yeah, I was
Voluntold.
voluntold. And here I am. So for me, it was stepping way outside my comfort zone because I'm more of a behind the scenes person. But,
Yeah.
you know, I can take it up a notch if I have to. So
Very
it's been
cool.
good for me. And Illinois is a tough one.
Oh my gosh.
It really is. Now, you know, we have 103 counties. 101 are fine. So, you know, Cook County and Chicago and East St. Louis, I mean, that's the challenge. It really is. And it's not Republican, Democrat. That's really not it. It's
Right.
just a whole, it's a challenge. So it's not hopeless, but it's difficult.
Right. It is difficult. It is way difficult. All right. Tell us about you, Susan.
Gosh, where do I start? Anyways, I got into shooting just kind of like Lori, just kind of fell into it and realized that it was kind of fun,
In 1
kind of
mile,
cool.
Exit 2 I-95, I-495, 2 I-295, Baltimore, Richmond.
There you
It's a lot
go.
of
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Yep.
In 1 mile. All right. So, and then I started doing the competing thing. I didn't realize I was competitive until I started shooting.
Yeah.
It's me every time.
Not every time, obviously.
There you go.
And then I got into 3-gun because that's what a 50-year-old Nana does, right? Runs
Okay.
around with guns.
That's
and-
I never imagined my grandmother doing that.
Nope.
But okay.
She could have been
Half a
badass. You don't know.
mile, exit right, then stay to the right.
So, and that's where I met Lori, about, I guess 5 to
I think we
6
met through
years.
TWA, and then you're like, hey.
Through who?
Well-armed woman.
Ah,
Yeah. The
TWA.
well-armed. Yeah, there's
thought it
lots
was-
of
yeah,
acronyms.
careful.
It was French. I had
yeah,
no idea.
careful.
No idea.
So, and we became best friends, and shooting 3-gun. Di is very big into 3-gun, and I think, right?
Yeah.
And so I think we were both voluntold. Oh, you're Washington State. You're an anti. You're a DC project. And then you're a DC project. You're an anti. So, and this is my 3rd year that I'm on DC project.
Very cool. Very cool. So what do you guys like about the all right, so here's what we like. It's hanging out with pro-gun women from all over the country.
Yes.
That's a given. How is it when you guys go talk to the representatives? Because you guys talk to politicians, for lack of a better term. You talk to politicians that are on both sides of the aisle and that are both for it and against it.
All mine are against, and I've been working, this is funny, I've been working really hard to get a meeting in my Democratic governor's office, Patty Murray. And I get on the plane yesterday, and you know how you're waiting to get in, and she's sitting right there.
No.
She is sitting right. And I'm like, hey, I have a meeting with you on Wednesday. Well, actually, you're aide, and I would really love it if you could be in the meeting with us.
So we're flying across the country. You think we can talk?
Yeah.
And
Hey,
she
do
was
you want to
thrilled.
sit next to her? Here, let me.
Yeah.
We have a
Can
great
we
seat in there.
switch
Yeah.
seats? Right?
I have a window seat. That's a middle seat. Let me switch.
She was rude even then. Right?
Yeah, she would. Well,
Wow.
yeah, she's
Less than thrilled.
yes,
There you go.
very
There
less
you
than
go.
thrilled, but it was fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't even
Nope.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now this is my thing. I was a gun agnostic growing up. I probably didn't like you, Lori, I didn't think about wanting to have a gun until I had kids. And then I'm like, I have to protect me to raise my kids, and I have to be able to protect my
Yeah,
kids.
Absolutely.
And that's how I got into gun stuff.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's not that I didn't think that I was, worth protecting, but I never considered it. I never thought about it until I had kids. I'm like, this is a little more serious than I used to think.
And do you train your children too?
I've
Safety?
I've done the gun safety stuff with my kids since they were 4 and 5 years old.
Good.
I've got a picture of my son when he was 5, holding my father's Browning Light 12 gauge.
Exit right to I-95,
I was told-
I-495, 2 I-295, Baltimore, Richmond.
There we go.
Then stay to the right to I-95 North, I-495 East, 2 I-295, Baltimore.
Are you paying attention to that?
I kind of.
Stay
Okay.
to the right to
Stay to the
I-95
right.
North,
Just stay to the right.
Stay to the right.
I-495 East,
So-
2 I-295, Baltimore.
Hush, hush, hush.
I know there's only one volume for these things. Come
Yeah.
on, girl. I did not have my son shoot the 12 gauge when he was 5. I had him hold it for a picture.
Yes.
And it was special to me because my father died when I was a young boy, and I, I have kids, I have to raise them, I have to protect them. That's what did it for me. So it was a big deal. It was one of my treasured pictures is the picture of me and my son holding my dad's shotgun.
Cool.
My daughter was 4 the first time I took her shooting, and I have a picture of her wearing a pink camo skirt with little bobby socks and a white shawl.
Cute.
Yeah, so I've got my arms around her, and she's holding my dad's 22 Browning Challenger, and I got a picture of her shooting that for the first time. So that was really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I have taught my kids. I take my kids shooting once a year. We do this. I do these things called gun grams, where I play the trumpet and shoot a gun at the same time. I guess you guys have seen those, right?
Kind of.
And for the last 4 years at Christmas, I take the kids out and we film a gun gram playing a Christmas tune.
Love it.
And instead of, I'm trying to get away from the family Christmas photo cards, so I make videos, and then Christmas Eve, I wake up in the morning and I send this. I think last year I sent it to 130 people.
That's great.
I love it. I want to be on that mailing list. I think that is so awesome.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. So, did you teach your kids?
Well,
or your grandkids?
Well, I'm teaching my grandkids, absolutely, and my son is involved. I have a range on my property, and so we go out there and train, because when you carry, you have to train at least once a month. Yeah, always train. And then we do, family gun cleaning night. Isn't that American?
Yeah. Some people bake cookies.
Right. Some people have family games.
I built my competition rifle with my son.
Wow.
That's a cool bonding experience. So,
that is cool.
Yeah. So the DC project for me, again, like Lori, it was way out of my comfort zone. Way out of my comfort zone to go out and reach out and talk to these legislators. And because we're not lobbying, we're there as a resource. So we just go in and explain that we're here to be used, basically. You want the correct lingo, run your article by me. I'll make sure that you're not saying clip instead of magazine. I know.
So you would think Joe Biden has somebody.
You would think.
Fire in the air twice.
Yo, Joe, just give me a holler. I'll check it out.
Right. Yeah, you would think so. And some people are receptive, some people aren't. Turn right. What does it say? Turn right.
St. George Boulevard.
So we're basically on the island. And any of the roads will get us there.
Yes, exactly.
There's casinos to the left, hotels to the right.
Okay.
Yep, we're almost there.
All right. So you were telling me that you've got something for dogs.
Yes, I invented a product. So because of my shooting,
all right. Hold on. This is where you guys are going, right?
Exactly.
All right. We're gonna drive around a little bit more. So
we kind of know where it's at. So
right.
I turned it off.
We're on an island.
I turned her off.
Cool.
So so I train in my yard, and when I would come in, my dog, my golden retriever, would be hiding in the bathroom, just shaking and shivering, and it drove me nuts because I was doing it to him.
Right.
So to support my ammo habit, I do human hearing protection with silicone, and
cool.
I make them. And so I decided I'm going to do something for Coleman. So I started creating things that worked for him, fit into his ears. And one day I came back in after training, and he's crashed out on his bed with his ears in, and he didn't even know I was training. And so I'm like, wow, there's something to this, because he couldn't hear it, he couldn't fear it. So
he couldn't hear it, he couldn't fear it. That's cool.
Ding.
That's the phrase, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
That is it.
So I blew out my knee in 3-gun and had to have surgery, and so 6 months research on the couch. So I sat there and researched patents and started designing, and I came up with CrittEar, and I've been going forward ever since. And my website, www.CrittEar.com, CrittEar.com. And we are on Indiegogo right now doing a crowdfunding campaign because I'm bootstrapping it myself.
Cool.
And it's kind of slow moving, and I kind of expected that because it's a new product in a new space, and people are like, right, you're going to put what in my dog's ears? And so I need to educate the public. And then Lori is my vet.
In my real life, I'm a veterinarian.
On the board, so it is legit. So we want to make sure the materials are safe. We want to make sure when you put it in, it's safe, because everyone loves their dogs, right?
Right.
She flew out to my practice. She did a bunch of molds and things on different size patients. And, I think it's all good.
Yeah.
Wow, how do you get the dogs to sit for a mold?
Well,
Some were asleep anyway for anesthesia.
Yep.
Some were under for a procedure.
and my dogs just sit still for it.
The Great Dane sat there.
They're like, come on, bring
Great
it.
Dane
Yeah,
just,
several of them did.
So I have videos online on YouTube,
Yeah.
so to show dogs using them and such. So, and then my next line will be for law enforcement, search and rescue. Military dogs have electronics in them, a speaker, so the handler can talk to the dogs and their hearing is protected. And then the next one is hunt line.
I was wondering about that.
Yep, because they spend so much money on their hunt dogs, and they're deaf by 8 years old, and that's because they're shooting over their heads, and it doesn't have to be that way. So I'll have a hunt line as well. So
All right. Is there?
There you go.
That gets us out of here,
Yeah.
right? We're not going to get out. All right. That's that's cool. That was something I was wondering about, because the having a dog that you hunt over it's got to be damaging to the dog's ears.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it gun safe. It's a gun safe dog. He doesn't twitch or anything. That's because
It's because he's deaf.
Yeah,
deaf.
probably.
Exactly.
That's funny.
And it doesn't have to be that way. Yeah. So
That's great.
It's a new product in a new space. I'm the first to patent it. So anybody who tries to, and I already had one who thought he could, but so we just keep moving forward. And I'm making it United States. That's important to me. It's very important to me. Need to keep it here. Definitely. Sure, I can do it cheaper somewhere else.
Absolutely.
But why? I need to start something here. Somebody needs to do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have at 8 o'clock every morning, I have a reminder on my phone that says America is your territory. And my attitude is I'm going to take the stagecoach across the country.
Love it.
So that is that's my scoop, and that's how I look at things. And
Upper Left Washington, come on by.
All right. I want to interview someone in every state, so
Cool.
yeah, that's part of the game plan as well.
You're well on your way.
Oh man, let's hope so. All right, let's bring a Yugi right here.
Yeah.
So who do you have appointments with this week? When you guys
Sorry, Patty Murray.
So Dick Durbin.
Dick Durbin.
Yeah, we have coffee with Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth.
You might want to go with the cold coffee so you can't throw it in his face.
It's our very first one, so that's okay.
Wow.
I don't have high expectations, but that's okay. We'll try.
No.
I don't have high expectations, but if they don't throw us out, it's a success.
Exactly.
Maybe, yeah. We'll take it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Too funny.
And mine, Maria Cantwell, Larson, and Patty Murray. Yeah, all antis. We have a really good team this year. Team 5. Yep.
Cool. Now every year it's probably the same core of women, and then it probably shifts a little bit. Like you get someone new and someone can't make it, so someone else comes.
Exactly.
And you team up by different states, so you're not with the same people every year, right?
Not necessarily.
You don't want to have a clique.
Exactly. I think they try to, put different people's strengths and stories on different teams, and
Some of the stories of why women become gun owners is it's pretty incredible, pretty
Isn't it?
amazing.
Yes.
And when you hear their stories, sometimes I hear their stories, I'm like, oh my God, how can you not be a gun owner?
Right.
No kidding.
Like, so since this happened to you, do you carry a gun everywhere? You know?
Almost. Not in D.C. because we can't.
Not in D.C.
but-
Right. See, sometimes that's the thing. Like in Massachusetts, if a place has a sign up that says you can't carry, you can. It's not illegal. Like the signs.
Concealed for
Right.
a reason.
Right. Well, the signs don't have the no gun signs do not have the force of law.
Correct. Same in Illinois. Like you're trespassing. If they ask you to leave, then you have to leave.
Yes.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly. Is that way in Washington?
I would say so, but I'm not gonna say,
Use the
what you
word.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I always never tell.
Right. Like, why would you want to tell someone? I have. What do you guys tell people when someone asks you if you're carrying?
I don't know.
I usually make a sarcastic remark.
don't-
Yeah, sarcastic
Depends on
you, Lori.
depends on who asked me.
Right.
I don't know.
I've gotten to the point where I always say, you know what? I don't tell people whether I'm carrying or not, because not only is it not any of your business. If I say no, it looks like I am carrying, and if I say I'm not, then you're going to tell me that I'm, I don't believe in what I preach and all that sort of stuff. So I
Yep.
say it's just not a question I answer.
No, I don't know.
Right, and I do believe as an instructor, I always tell people that the mind is the tool. The mind is the weapon, and everything else is a tool.
There you
Very, very.
So I say, if I want to take a pen and stab you in the eye with a pen, that's an assault pen.
Your
That's right.
key that has the switchblade.
I got a
is-
switchblade key right here. I thought about
Uh-huh.
making a video of my switchblade key. Look at this. Ooh, I'm just gonna cut myself.
Nice.
Oh, you be careful with
I know,
that.
these
Yeah.
things
Safety
are dangerous.
first.
They're dangerous. So the mind is the weapon. Everything else is the tool. It's none of someone else's business.
Correct.
No.
It
No.
really is not. And I've had friends that have, asked me, I don't know if you guys have had this, I've had friends that say, hey, listen, we're having this event, birthday party, graduation party for so-and-so. Can you please not bring a gun? Okay. Well, so if I bring it and you don't know about it,
Right.
is it okay?
Right.
Yeah.
No kidding. If it never leaves my side, if it's never unsafe.
Right. And then part of me starts to think, okay, so you're telling me that
hard
if
not
I
to
have a
be
gun, you think I'm going to kill you.
I know, right? It's like you're assuming I'm going to be irresponsible.
Right.
I know they come out of place. I mean, everyone loves their kids. I get that, but it's a little insulting.
It's completely insulting. Completely
Yes.
insulting. I've talked to people that I was emceeing a fashion show in Massachusetts, and I was talking with some of the models, and they were saying that people were saying, oh my gosh, you guys are all gun guys. Should you really be getting together to have some sort of a show where you're going to be carrying and drinking? Like, carrying and drinking is not responsible. It's okay, so I can't do either of these? Like, I have to give up one to do the other? Really? Really?
Yeah. Yes.
And do you think I'm that irresponsible?
I guess.
That I'm just going to get loaded and start pulling guns out like I'm Yosemite Sam?
Yeah.
People say they'll project their own fears about themselves on someone else.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
your problem.
That's projecting.
That's not my
Exactly. Yeah, I've talked to people. I'm sure you guys have done the same thing. I've talked to some people, and they'll say, whoa, universal background checks. And I said, so I can't transfer a gun to someone else that's got a gun license that's been through 2 background checks to get their gun license? Well, no.
Yeah, they don't even know what they're talking about.
They
No,
don't.
they
And-
don't.
And then
Everything sounds lovely, but
I always say to them, I say, have you passed a background check? Well, no. Why would I need to pass a background check? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you've committed a crime.
Yeah.
I've passed a
Yes.
background check and you have it. And then I hang up on them.
yeah.
And we don't talk.
That's, yep. Passed quite a few. I have a lot to lose. NRA, certifications for training and
Yeah.
all my guns and stuff. So, yeah, I'm an upstanding citizen.
Right. I go through all of these hoops on a regular... We're in a dead end, aren't we?
I don't know, but it's a lovely
This is
neighborhood.
very
It's
lovely.
a lovely neighborhood. I know. We're just
couldn't afford
driving around.
I've been
I
thrown out
didn't
of better
even know.
places. In Illinois, we have this thing called the FOID card, Firearm Owner Identification Card, and you have to have that to even look at a gun, touch a gun, buy ammo, whatever.
Yeah.
And whatever, that's fine. And then so you have that, then you have your concealed carry permit. So if you have a FOID card, you have a 365 days a year, they run a background check. If you have a concealed carry card as well, they run another one. So those of us in Illinois have 2 count them 2 background checks run every day.
Oh my God.
So that's why our system's a little slow. But, you know, I mean, how much safer would you, how many more checks would you like to
Do a day.
Okay, so
and
they
they
do
still
2
run
checks
one
on
when
me.
you buy a gun every time.
Oh my God.
And there's a 3-day wait. So,
Unbelievable.
you know, and yet we have the highest crime, you know, anywhere. So, anyway, it's just mind-boggling.
Because they should check 2 times a day. That's what it is. You know, 4 times a day.
4 times,
Double
yes,
it.
because that 2 was
Right?
not enough.
Because you don't know what happens after noon.
My
So-
gosh.
Right.
It's-
You could go out for lunch, have a
right.
couple drinks. Who knows?
So it's not the law. It's, you know, like the breakdown is, well, you know, they don't even enter stuff in the system sometimes. And,
Yeah, as
you
we
know,
found out with the
Yeah.
Texas church shooter.
Yep.
For sure. We had a shooting in Aurora, Illinois, and it was one of the few guys that actually had a license, and but it was a typical workplace thing, and he should have lost his privileges long ago because he was a domestic guy,
Yeah.
and the system fell apart because they don't have people that enforce it, and so, you know, you can run all the background checks you want, but if no one's there to do the other side of it, it's just maddening.
Yeah, the background checks only check the history. I mean, this is not Minority Report.
And this is, and it was of course at a gun-free zone. You know, that's another hot
Right.
topic, obviously. But you know,
I see a Ferris wheel. We should do
It's-
Shotgun with Charlie on
And a Ferris wheel.
what could go wrong?
So I interviewed Amanda Suffolcool a couple years ago, and she's like, "Hey, you should come back in the summer. We should ride motorcycles and try to figure out how to do a show on
How
motorcycles."
fun.
And I said, "I don't know how to drive a motorcycle."
Oh,
So she's like, "Well, then you can ride, bitch."
That's
like,
her.
I don't know about that.
You haven't had Di yet.
I have not.
This afternoon, I
I'm
think.
meeting her this afternoon.
Oh, very good.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Very.
All right. Well, listen, we are almost at wherever we need to be, which
Yep.
is probably whether or not it's a real circus. It's gonna be a circus with you 2 ladies, and the clowns are gonna be some of the politicians you guys are going to see.
Yeah, in the swamp.
All right. So how can people find you, Lori, and the stuff that you do? Your what did you call it? The Wawa? Twa?
I'm part of the Well-Armed Woman, but that's just a group of ladies. We have chapters across the country, but
FOMO firearm.
yeah, I have an
training.
imaginary. Well, I have a firearm training company called FOMO Firearm Training, but it's mostly we just teach women to be safe, and
Yeah.
when you're ready to be tactical, we send you to someone else.
Cool.
Love it.
My vet companies in Lakeville, Illinois, we do a lot of modern stuff. I don't know, just find me on Facebook, Lori Blackwell. I'm there.
All right. Awesome. And how about for you, Susan?
I am 3 Gun Nana on
3 Gun Nana.
on Instagram and Facebook.
My grandma's on Instagram. She's 3 Gun Nana.
Isn't that awesome?
And now I'm CrittEar. I'm the top dog at CrittEar. So,
Top dog at
Top-
CrittEar. Oh my gosh.
So,
The puns never end.
yeah, yes, very much so. So, and yeah, find me at www.CrittEar.com.
All right, cool. We're going to put links to all of that. Please check out Riding Shotgun on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio. Check out the Self-Defense Radio Network, sdrn.us. That is all of your pro-freedom podcasts in one place. We are going to find a place to park. There's a couple of dogs up there. One of them was
let's
just
go.
taking a nap in the middle of the road.
Hey, do you have your critter?
Right,
Hey,
do you have your
let me
CrittEar?
talk to you.
Turn right.
We need to
Yep,
go talk
turn
to
right.
them.
Yep.
All right, so ladies, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Awesome.
you.
Thank
Thank you. This has been a
you.
Good
pleasure.
stuff.
Thank you, and
Totally.
we'll talk to you guys later.